Have you ever sat alone at night? Lights dim, house quiet, phone silent, and suddenly felt something weird in your chest, like life is still moving, but you are not really in it anymore? Like everybody you once called, my people are still alive, still talking, still laughing somewhere. Just not in your world the same way anymore? Yeah. That moment hits different after 70, and nobody really warns you about it in a real way. They just smile and say, "You've lived a good life," but they never tell you the part where silence becomes louder than people, where memories start talking back to you, and where even your own thoughts sometimes feel like strangers in your head. And let me be straight with you, after 70, there is only one thing in this entire world that still truly belongs to you. Not your children, not your house, not even the memories people keep attaching to your name, but something way more powerful and way more dangerous if you don't understand it. And I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me because this is where most people either break inside or finally wake up for the first time in decades. Because what nobody says out loud is this: life slowly stops being about what you own outside and starts becoming about what you control inside. And that shift is so quiet, most people miss it until it's too late. You see, when you were younger, everything made sense because your identity was full. You were needed every second. Someone was calling your name. Someone depended on your decisions. Someone argued with you, laughed with you, needed you, respected you, and even your stress had purpose. But after 70, the world doesn't stop loving you. It just stops needing you the same way. And that's where the confusion starts. Because love without dependency feels like distance, even when it's not. And suddenly, you start checking your phone a little more, waiting a little longer, replaying conversations in your head, like maybe you said something wrong. Maybe you are becoming invisible. Maybe you are being forgotten. And I'm telling you right now that feeling is the real battle. Not age, not health, not money, but the quiet emotional shift where you start measuring your worth by attention instead of presence. And let me hit you with something real. Most suffering at this stage of life doesn't come from being alone. It comes from expecting people to fill a space that only your own mind can stabilize now. And yeah, I know that sounds harsh, almost cold, but it's actually freeing if you really understand it. Because once you realize nobody is coming to complete your emotional world anymore, you stop waiting, and when you stop waiting, something strange happens. You start noticing yourself again. Like for the first time in years, you hear your own thoughts without background noise of expectations. And here's the shocker most people never accept. They were never truly dependent on others for happiness. They were dependent on the role they played in other people's lives. And when that role shifts, they panic. But what if I told you that panic is actually the doorway to freedom? Not the end of connection, but the beginning of a different kind of peace. And I know some of you are already thinking, this sounds lonely, but wait. Because loneliness is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about something deeper, something raw, something powerful. The moment you stop chasing emotional validation and start realizing your inner world is the only place still fully under your control. And I want you to sit with this question for a second. When was the last time you felt completely okay just being with yourself? No distractions, no expectations, no proving anything to anyone. Just you and your thoughts without fear? Comment that if you can honestly answer it, because your answer will tell you more about your life than any doctor ever could. And now, let me take you a little deeper into something people don't like to admit. After 70, relationships don't end, but expectations do. And if you don't adjust to that, you start suffering in silence while smiling on the outside. And that's the most dangerous kind of pain, because nobody even notices it's happening. Now here's where everything flips, because once you stop depending on external validation, something almost unbelievable starts happening. You begin to feel lighter, not because life becomes easier, but because your emotional weight finally drops, and you stop carrying conversations in your head that don't exist anymore. You stop rechecking your importance in places where you no longer need approval. And slowly you start to realize something that younger people don't understand yet. Peace is not when everyone stays close. Peace is when you no longer need everyone to stay close to feel whole. And yeah, I know that sounds like one of those motivational lines you hear everywhere. But this is different, because this is not about inspiration. This is about survival of your inner world. And let me tell you something funny at this stage of life. The people who are the most emotionally free are not the ones with the most family visits or the most phone calls. They are the ones who learned how to sit in silence without turning it into a story of abandonment. And trust me, that skill is rare, like really rare. Because most people confuse silence with rejection and distance with disrespect, when in reality, sometimes life is just reorganizing itself, not abandoning you. And here's the real twist: you don't lose people after 70. You lose the version of people that existed when you were needed differently. And if you can accept that without turning it into pain, you unlock something most people never reach: emotional independence. And I'm not talking about becoming cold or detached. I'm talking about becoming stable enough that other people's absence doesn't shake your identity. And yes, there will still be days where memories hit hard, where you miss voices, where you wish things were like before. That's normal, that's human. But the difference is, you no longer collapse into it. You observe it, you sit with it, and then you move forward. And that ability, right, there is the one thing that truly belongs to you after 70, your response. Your inner narrative, your mental freedom. Because everything else can shift, but how you interpret life, that stays in your control. And if you master that, you don't just age, you evolve. And maybe that's the secret nobody says out loud, that growing older is not about losing people. It's about finally meeting yourself without noise, without roles, without pressure, just raw truth. And if you're watching this right now, I want you to do something simple but powerful. Don't scroll away immediately. Just take 1 second and ask yourself, am I living in expectation or in peace? And be honest, because that answer is where your next chapter begins. And if this message hit you in any way, comment below what part felt real to you, because your story might help someone else feel less alone in theirs. And maybe, just maybe, that's the one thing we still get to give each other at any age. Use slow emotional background music with pauses after rhetorical questions. Add real-life elderly visuals, solo walking, window thinking, family distance scenes. And place on-screen captions highlighting key phrases like, only one thing belongs to you, and peace is inner control. Pin a comment asking viewers, at what age did you realize silence feels different? And encourage replies to boost engagement and algorithm reach.